Hi, puzzle friends. It's time. For me to purge a few puzzles. I have so many puzzles that I've either been gifted by friends or gotten from puzzle swaps or purchased from Goodwill. You can see I have a few that I have to get rid of, and guess what? This is only part 1. You can look forward to part 2 coming up. If I've done any, whoa. And that's why I have to get rid of some puzzles. I'm frugal with my money, my time, and my space, and it's my space that we're going to tackle this time. Let's get into it. Well, on to the puzzle purge. Okay, we're going to start with some smaller puzzle. I did this one, the 500-piece puzzle of Disney villains. This was a lot of fun to put together because it had nice blocks of color. To be honest, I only recognized Ursula and Jafar from up on top. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was pretty quick, but it's time to move this one along. Next, we have this puzzle bug, 1,000 pieces, but I took one look. I got this from Goodwill. It took one look at the piece size. Those are pretty teeny, and that's why I decided this isn't going to be one that I'm going to do. I think I'm going to send this one back to Goodwill. And then there was this little bitty one. It's a Springbok in their mini jigsaw puzzle series. It's 70 pieces, and it is teddies in a toy store window. It's time to move this one along too. This one's a 750-piece puzzle from Buffalo Games, and it's called Space Beach. This is the second gradient that I've done, and it has someone that's on the beach at sunset, and you can see the stars and the moon up in there someplace. It was enjoyable. It was my second gradient that I'd done, but I am ready to move this one along. I got it from Goodwill, I believe, for... Oh, wait, no, this was from one of the puzzle swaps that I did. So even better, I feel good about moving it along to someone else. Now, the next puzzle was actually a donation from a friend to our employee puzzle area in our staff lounge. But he says he's not really into puzzles, so someone had just given him this puzzle because he likes Star Wars. This 1,000-piece Star Wars puzzle by Buffalo Games also was a tricky one. My coworkers put it together. It took them a while, but you can see that there's a lot of dark, obviously the dark side, and then you had some of this orangey color, and then the white uniforms, and there was kind of a lot going on in this puzzle. It took a little while for them to put it together, but they prevailed. But even the Force couldn't help us find the one missing piece that was in this puzzle, or rather that wasn't in this puzzle. So I have a nice little post-it that I'm going to add to the box saying missing one piece. Probably should tape it on there so when it goes to Goodwill it doesn't fall off. So I'm going to be moving this one along because I'm not a super fan of Star Wars. But I'm glad my friends could put this together, and I'll trade it out for another one for our puzzle area. You saw this one in a video if you remember. It's 500 pieces. It's a vintage baseball puzzle from the brand You the Fan. There's all sorts of fun details in this puzzle. You had a bobblehead and a baseball card and a baseball and baseball bat. It was fun to put together, but it's time to move this one along too. They do have 2 others in this series. There is a football and a basketball one. But this, which I purchased from Goodwill for $2.99, is going to go to another home. I'm not sure yet, but you'll see near the end of the video some of my suggestions for places that you can move puzzles along to. And hey, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing if you like puzzle hauls, puzzle purges like this one. And remember, this is only part 1. If you like slow puzzling, speed puzzling, puzzling with me, doing online puzzles, consider subscribing so you'll know when I'm going to do my next video. I got this one last year from Trader Jack's, which is a flea market in Pittsburgh. I'm going to do a video pretty soon of my trip this year to Trader Jack's. So I got this one for $5 from this woman who had a ton of puzzles and games. I liked this one of Anna and Elsa in their Frozen attire. It was pretty easy to put together because the pieces were big. It's only 200 pieces, and it was fun. But I think it's time to move this one along too. And I can't store my puzzles in Pepper's cat tree now, can I? I don't think he would like it, so we need to move those puzzles out of there. Now this one I got for $3.99 from Goodwill. I picked it up at first because it's a Gallison, and when I first got it, I hadn't done any Gallison puzzles, and it was a new brand for me. I believe I've done one since then, and this one, the colors were very muted, and I generally like bright colors. And this is called Painted Desert. So these are all different desert cacti and flowers, and I just wasn't too keen on keeping this one. And then there's this one, Cool Cats. There's 4 250-piece puzzles in this set. I have done 3 of these puzzles, but I figured now that I've done it and then I shared it with my friends at work, it's time to move this one along too. I got this for $1.99 at Goodwill, and I'm going to show you the image. There's a really nice poster inside. And you'll see why this was a very unique one. It was a difficult puzzle to do. This is what the image is. It says, God says you are, and then these mason jars of flowers are all different Bible verses. So God says you are unique, special, lovely, precious, strong, and chosen. And the Bible verse is listed under each one. So the mason jars were pretty easy to do. The flowers weren't too hard. The words were pretty good. It was this tan part that really kind of tripped me up a little bit. Even this pretty little bag. Listen to these pieces. I loved doing this because they had a plasticized coating on the front. Made a little shiny, you can't really tell, but a little shiny, but it made for a satisfying noise when you put it together. So the back of the pieces had letters on them like this. It was the first puzzle I'd ever had for that, and I didn't know why exactly, and I didn't really use the pieces too much or use the letters too much until I got to the end of the puzzle where I was working on the tan part and I was running into problems. Many of the pieces were false fits. They would fit in many different places, and you're like, oh, it's not quite right. So I confess I did use a little bit of the letters to help. And even then, when I finally finished the puzzle and I can tell a couple areas weren't quite right, then I flipped it using a piece of foam core, and I saw that indeed there were some A's where there should have been B's, and some B's where there should have been C's. Just little chunks. And that let me know that they weren't quite right. But this was an interesting one. I'm glad I tried it, but it is one that I'm going to move along. So those are the puzzles in my first part 1 puzzle purge. As I was going through this, each time I was looking at a box, I was like, wait, do I really want to get rid of that one? The thing is, I'm running out of space, and I try to be frugal with my money, my time, and my space. I already know I have about 8 puzzles coming my way from a recent trip, and I have a family member that's bringing them to me because I flew and I couldn't take them on the plane. So I have about 8 puzzles coming there. So most of these puzzles that I showed you, I really have to bite the bullet and let them go. So where am I going to bring all these puzzles? I've got a few ideas. Nursing homes love puzzle donations. Library puzzle trades are also a good way to go. I visited a library last year and they had one entire room with 5 shelves of puzzle goodness. And you brought the puzzles you wanted to trade and you chose puzzles based on the honor system. I left a couple of extras because I didn't need all that I brought. I am frugal though, so I do want to get some exchange for my money if I can. So library trades work well for me. You can always consider selling them through eBay or Facebook Marketplace. I personally haven't done it, but I know some people have, and that would be a good way to recoup some costs. Then there's always my favorite method, which is the full circle back to Goodwill for someone else to discover and enjoy. That's probably where those Puzzle Bug puzzles will go, because when they're only 99 cents to begin with, I don't feel like that is a good trade at one of these library trades, for example. So back to Goodwill it goes. So those are a few of my ideas for where I'm going to be bringing some of these puzzles. Some will make it to the library swap. There's a couple of new ones that I'd like to try. Some will be going to Goodwill. I might look through, I think there's one that the Frozen puzzle might be a good size for a nursing home. And actually that might be kind of nice because if there is a young family visiting their grandma there, maybe they might want to do a puzzle with their grandchild. It's a nice puzzle and the pieces are big. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing so you can see part 2 of this puzzle purge. Also puzzle hauls, puzzle swaps at libraries, slow puzzling, speedy puzzling competitions, and I've even started a puzzling party time with me doing online puzzles. So if you subscribe, then you'll know when all of those things are taking place.
Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day, folks. Bye-bye.